All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Square Groupers. Yes, yes, yes. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see people coming in and popping in real early already. That's good. That's good to see, man. Good to see. Who do we have here so far? It looks like we've got me throwing a test up there. Good for me. Andrew Pace in the house. What is up, my brother? How you doing, brother? Love you like a brother. Good to see you. One of my other brothers from another marriage, Eric B in the house, man. Good to see you. Sarah, your favorite time of week, man. That's great to hear. Thank you so much. Don't think I'll ever forget about you. I got your tray right here, so it's gonna be part of the Cultivating with the Cannabis Cowboy set, as well as obviously Square Groupers. So, who else is saying what's up? Good evening. Yeah. So, at any rate today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not really 100% sure. Barry might be a little bit late today. I think he was hanging out with the fam, which is I'm super jealous. That's definitely something I'd rather be doing on one of these days other than working, but I'm with my Square Grouper family, so I'm doing good. We've got a good show for you today, guys. I'm bringing in a friend from my hometown to try and help some folks in Florida get legal. I'm going to do the best to help you guys do the same thing for Colorado and as well as Washington State. So, hell, let's just get this show rolling. Let's wait for a couple people to get in here. It's good to see you guys talking amongst yourselves in there too. Got a private chat. I got a couple things. All right, beautiful. Yeah, we've got a lot of information for you today. The show may run a little bit longer today for all I know. I don't know. And looks like my eyes are red. That's weird. I wonder why. So hell, you know what I'm going to do? Let's just go ahead and kick off the show, rolling a doob real quick. Whatever you all folks got, go ahead and grab your bud. While I've got a minute, what the heck? Hey, how am I doing? I'm doing real good, Andrew. I'm doing good, man. I had a short day today. I had a real long one yesterday. I had some decent news about my job, and then I got some bad news. But everything is going up and down right now, so I can't really complain, man. I've got the ability to clock into a job now, so there's so many people out there that don't have that ability. So, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely I'm definitely trying to be proactive as I possibly can. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, just for the hell of it, in the middle of me rolling this doob I'm about to roll, before we start getting into it, I'm going to go ahead and introduce a friend real quick. This is a real good friend of mine. I grew up with him in Miami, Florida. I did not even know until recently that he has helped out a dozen or so of my friends, our friends, his friends in Miami, Florida, and Florida itself, getting them a med card. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for one of my lifelong brothers, Ken Man. Let's get you in here real quick, my brother. Oh, damn. It's so loud for you. The cheers are so loud. Ken Man in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, do not adjust your camera. That is indeed Miami Dolphin colors on my friend over there. Our brother, Ken Man, is the diehardest of diehardest Dolph fans. And proud to say I love him for it, man. He loves his team, man, as much as we love our team. But at any rate, he's also a really super knowledgeable dude about cannabis as well. So we're gonna ask him a bunch of questions. What do you got going right now, Ken, man? Just hanging out?
Just hanging out, man. Proud to be here. Happy to be here. I really do appreciate it. It's great to be talking what I love, whether it's sports or marijuana, with friends. This is great. Can't ask for anything better.
Exactly, man. And we definitely have a lot of sports to talk about if that's the way we want to go, considering the craziness. I know how, you are just as lucky and happy to see your team doing well after years of not always being the greatest. And we have just not been the greatest for a long time either. So it's one of those weird seasons, man.
We got beat by a couple of decades, though, on the not being very good for a while, though. Yeah. But, we're working on it.
Yeah, as soon as the new generation comes in, they just forget about what the hell happened before them anyway. So, every once in a while we get a clean slate. It's like, oh no, our teams were never horrible. We've always been great. Yeah.
I'm riding the highs of a team that existed before I was born. You want me to tell you?
And I'm riding the highs of a team that existed before most of the fans were born as well. So we're
that's
right
true. Those are the high school days, man. The Cowboys were great. Those were good times.
Truth, man.
High school for us.
High school for us. Yeah, Mandarino, Dan Marino. That's an old joke, man. I don't know how it's stuck. I've always been a spoonerism kind of guy. Shout out to Brian Parsons, who I always managed to run those guys past. But Tyrone Davis, what's going on? Potheads, you damn right, man. If you are not a pothead, that's cool. You can just hang out and watch some potheads. That's fine. You're going to wind up learning something without wanting to. Because that's what happens when you hang out with the intelligent potheads. But yeah, so our goal today really is to kind of give you folks some information about how to get legal. I was actually talking to one of the folks in the comments section earlier today, and I'm trying to get him to go legal. And he's in a business position where it's a little tricky. He's a little apprehensive to try and take those first steps. So it's really cool that you're here right now, because I really think the information that you're going to impart to him is going to probably motivate him to get some moves done really quick. Because my thing was this. I was like, look, man, I want you to have a red card for one reason and one reason only, so that you don't have to worry about cops. Period. Right. So that was my main motivation. My main motivation was I just don't want to get fucked with cops. It's not like I drove around getting high like we used to. I'm pretty low key when it comes to that right now. But what I wanted for him was for him to be able to go and get a bag and go home and rest easy that if he's smoking in his house and for some reason a cop happens to come by, he won't be put in jail because of it. Now, chances are that wouldn't fucking happen anyway now. But if you got that card, it's definitely you definitely have a better pass.
It's your get out of jail free card. I mean, that's kind of what I look at it as. And it's something that was a big reason for why I wanted it as well. I'm a contractor. I do business here in South Florida. I try to build a good name for my company and for myself. And I know there's a stigma that goes with this, and I get that. And honestly, it doesn't bother me, because I do what I do for myself, for my family, and everybody that I know that I love in my life know what I do and why I do it. And for that reason, I'm not too concerned about what other people think. If it damages stuff in my business, then it is what it is. I mean, I do what I have to do. And I feel like some people are afraid to do this because of that, because of the stigma, because of whether it's their work. And I understand that. It depends what you're doing, though. And there's a little bit of ambiguity to it as well. And I think that's what freaks people out. The state did not roll it out very well. It was extremely rocky. But at the end of the day, 71% of the people, or the voters at least, in 2016 said they wanted medical marijuana for the state of Florida. So it wasn't even close. You need 60 in Florida to approve a state amendment, and it just blew it away. So regardless of what they do to try to stonewall it, it's there, it's happening, it's moving. I'm living proof right here, and I know there's plenty of others of how wonderful it is. I was gushing to Bob about it yesterday, about everything and how great it's been, and just going through the list of what we can get. And I mean, I literally cried walking out of the dispensary the first time, having bought marijuana legally in the state of Florida. It was an emotional moment. I was so happy that this southern, mostly Republican state decided that it was time to make this happen. So it just shows it's not a political thing, when it comes to this. It's not Republican, Democrats. The last thing we're talking about with this topic, and that's another reason why so many more people can come together with it.
100%. And it definitely doesn't have, I mean, in some cases when we're talking about federal level, maybe it does have to do with something but since everything is really done state level anyway, it's more about, is the state okay with it? Is the state going to approve it? I mean, there's some cities in Colorado that still don't allow it, man. If you believe that shit, it's kind of crazy, but I think it's kind of amazing the way Florida rolled it out too, when you were and we'll go into the specifics of like what it is you're allotted and stuff like that. But even that, I didn't even think about, you know what I mean? Like, I said, when you were giving me that information, I was like, well, damn, Colorado was just like, here's how much you get per day. But for you folks in Florida and anybody who's in Florida, it's a little bit more regimented that. But I think it'll start loosening up as time goes by on that. But
it definitely will. I mean, I don't know really what this was modeled out of, because there was so much that was baffling to me as news came out of how the state was handling this. And I knew that the mostly conservative politicians in Tallahassee were not going to be keen on making this super easy, and they weren't. I mean, some of the stuff they came out with was unbelievable. Doctors could prescribe it, patients could get it, but you couldn't smoke it. I mean, that literally existed for a little while here.
No, you couldn't inhale it, right? Or
it couldn't be inhaled. Sorry, it could be used topically. It could be, but you couldn't inhale it. That's correct. What is that? I mean, that was ridiculous, and that lasted a little while until ultimately lawsuit after lawsuit. The weird thing in the state right now is that our Department of Agriculture, Nikki Fried, the head of the Department of Agriculture in Florida, is a lawyer, is a card carrier, fought hard for legalization of marijuana in this state. So she has really just put the clamps on the governor's house and the state house to make the will of the people done, taken care of, finished. Like this, she had everyone behind her with this, 71%. They couldn't argue it. So ultimately, it did what it had to do, and it's gotten to where it is now. And it took a little while to get there, but I'll tell you what, it's easy. It's easy. It's unbelievable. I have not walked into a doctor's office. I've done everything over the telephone. I've renewed it now at this point. I've seen nobody. People think you have to go see your doctor who you may have seen, for your whole life, and you might be afraid to ask or talk about. You don't need to do this. There's groups of doctors that are set up to talk to you about this. It does not need to be yours. You don't need to come with all your medical history. It's none of that. You're going to have a conversation on the telephone with an actual doctor. Once you're finished with that conversation, that doctor will decide if you are able to have prescriptions done right there and then, because of COVID, it's all over the phone. They can still do it that way. And it's been expanded even longer now because of this. So you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to see anybody. You don't have to do anything like that. You just have to talk to this doctor, explain to them the issues that you're having, your insomnia, your anxiety, so that they can get a good idea of if you are going to be a good candidate for the card or not. And at the end of the day, they want you to get the card.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say right now, you're a good candidate for the card. Whoever you are right now.
If you're watching this, if you can hear this,
bring your children. We're going to give it to them too. 2020's all fucked up.
They have, let me tell you, I mean, at the beginning, they were picky about it because it was just, cancer, Crohn's, ALS, epilepsy, AIDS, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's. I mean, that was the only things. And then they expanded on that in the sense that the bill had a provision in it that there were other causes that you might feel this way or that way. So they had like a qualifying condition, basically, is what they call it. And then those things could be, anything from alcoholism, anorexia, anxiety, insomnia, irritable bowel syndrome, nausea, vertigo. You could be overweight. There's so many things that fit into that other category that's really expanded. And I think why people get scared when they do research, they look at those kind of top 13 and they're like, well, I don't have any of those. And right. I don't have any of those. And so certain people do, certain people don't. Well, I do. I'm sorry. I do have one of those. But
the list was purposely compiled at the very beginning to scare away your average cannabis user. It was compiled in a way for you to say, there's no fucking way I'll be in that qualification realm. I don't even have, but that's not even really the case anymore. And I'm glad that you said that. I want to ask you one thing before we start getting into some deeper statistics. And it's something I'm actually genuinely want to hear. I know the reason why I started smoking cannabis before I even had the understanding of IBS, before I had the understanding of lactose intolerance, stress of your mind directly related to your stomach and gut. I was smoking cannabis all the time. You know this. It was sort of a side effect that I never had any of those pains in my stomach and any of the issues I had digestively while I was stoned or when I was high. But as soon as I came off, it was back to that painful shit again. What was the thing that drew you to cannabis right away when you were younger? You first started it.
Okay, well, first starting it was recreational through and through. I mean, I had plenty of friends that had been smoking for a long time, even before me. I was a little bit more into experimenting with LSD when I was younger. I actually did that before I smoked pot. So laughed at my friends a lot. I thought it was a kind of a dumb drug. And I made fun of friends of mine. I might have said something to you a few times. At one point, I was on my high horse for a little while, but jumped off of that just before, I left high school and got way into it. It was definitely more for recreational purposes. It felt good. I drank a little back then. So I don't know, back then I could handle that. Today, my God, the two mixed, I'm like flying backwards and no. But that's kind of where it started with, but I didn't realize it was actually helping my stomach. I had a very similar situation to you with IBS. I actually had been tested for Crohn's disease, and they put me through a bunch of different MRIs and tests for it. Ultimately, I didn't get diagnosed with Crohn's, but it was just a heavy case of IBS, I guess. And at the end of the day, it's the diet, but marijuana had always helped me when I medicated to feel so much better, to relieve that. So I knew that was always going to be there to help me in that sense. I had battled cancer in the early 90s, and that wound up being something that helped, I guess, along with for my card. But please let anyone that's watching know, cancer to get this card. I actually went because of my stomach, and that was every reason I gave to the doctor that I spoke to over the phone, and he approved everything with stomach pains. Anxiety and insomnia, by the way, those are two really good keywords. Use those. But now, and being able to actually medicate in such a way where I know what I'm getting, and I can learn a little bit better about how I can dose. And I learned this a lot when I went to see family and friends in Colorado, and I saw how that rollout happened and how the dispensaries were. It's not just getting a bag from your local guy anymore, and you don't know what you're getting. You don't know anything. Now it make a difference. Back in the day, would you care? But it does make a difference in the sense of you can actually find what helps you at the right time of day. It's a little different. For me, it's been incredible. It's made pot fun again, actually, being legal and being able to go through all of this and choose what I want and where I want to get. Awesome.
Yeah, there's a spoil factor to a lot of that too. You also kind of, what I've also found out is I started actually connecting the strains that I have knowledge about now to the strains I had when I was younger. Because, growing up in Miami, when we were smoking, if we were getting into that KB or any of that Crippy, it was usually from like one person that had it, and some other people, it's just, we didn't really have a lot of that different kind of the stuff that we had, but we definitely had Island Sweet Skunk. We definitely had Maui Wowie. We definitely had OG Kush. Pre-98 Bubba Kush was created in Florida. So we had a lot of that shit too, which is my all-time favorite strain. So it's pretty crazy how it wind up, I remember it's like, I'll take a hit of something and I'll be like, Hammocks Junior High. Dude, I remember that smell right there from fucking something that happened somewhere, or I'm in the back of your car. Somebody, I'm going to get to some comments real quick, and we'll start getting in real deep into some of your information. I saw you just light up, so go ahead and get on the level real quick. Someone says that he needs this guy to get Texas on board. I am 100% with you. If we can lobby, if we can get Ken to get into Texas,
it's tough enough to get to the state.
He might help out. It's a terrifying state, and y'all know that shit. I lived there for a long time.
Yes.
We are making progress, Sarah, 100%. Your state is stupid. You get in trouble with rolling papers. All right, man. That's good to know, man, because I won't mail you any of mine. Fuck that. That's the last thing I want to deal with, having somebody locked up because of rolling papers. This is exactly what Texas is going to do. We are a very conservative red state, just like Florida. Yeah, and what's funny is I want to go ahead and go on record, and not that I have to because I'm probably on video. It's saying it. I always said Texas and Florida would be the last 2 states to legalize, period, end of a story. And Florida threw a 180 on me. So,
and honestly, if I could just say real quick, in 2014, Florida actually was the first southern state to do it because they approved for low THC, which was mostly for actually kids, various, issues and whatnot. And it was the Charlotte's Web strain actually that they approved in Florida. So that kind of opened the door. And I'm just thinking in Texas, that could be something else that could happen. It always starts with those smaller steps just to kind of get legislation used to understanding that the constituents are into this. And like I said, this is not a Republican Democrat thing at all. This is one place where really both could working to make the needle move in your state, regardless of who's in charge right now, because it's all about the people at the end of the day. It really is. In Orlando, there was an attorney, John Morgan, in Florida. He was the one that really pushed it for this state. That man did so much, and his brother's handicapped, and he needed it. And this man just put so much effort towards the vote. He got the amendment put on the ballot in 2016, almost by himself. So it takes that kind of person, and with that kind of and then just a group of people behind him that's pushing the effort. So Texas can do it, 100%.
Yeah, and again, like I know what you're saying with that too, because it is a Bible state. Texas is definitely a Bible state, and there's a lot of the thing is that you have to also understand that the people who still believe in that, what we're talking about, the stigma, they're getting old right now. Do you know what I mean? And then after them, there really is not very many stigmatic people, if that's a word. If not, I made it up, coined it. There's not a lot of people after that who have that stigma. So no matter what, we're going to get there. It's just a matter of, if we're voting, because I don't know if you know this is the first year I've ever voted in my entire life. I was very staunchly against the system. I didn't believe in a lot of it. I did it as a favor to my wife and a favor to a lot of other people in the world, if I'm being honest. But yeah, just seeing things. So anyway, after I knew that I had that big vote in there, I started noticing, like, do you want to make Lakewood, Colorado recreational? I was like, that's on there too? I started noticing all this shit. I'm like, I can vote on this? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? And now Lakewood is a recreational. Up until this year, you couldn't come to my city in my neighborhood and get recreational cannabis. We had to go out of Lakewood. That's why I always send you to Good Chemistry, which I always continue to do anyway. But that's a pretty crazy thing. Sarah's saying you need to know how to renew. Your provider quit, so you're ass out. We're going to get to some information here for sure, Sarah. This dude has some wild stories. I'd love to smoke a blunt. Well, you know what? I think Ken would tell you a lot of good LSD stories, and I would be in there with him, and there'd be a lot where I wasn't too. We had a lot, man. We did a lot of LSD back in the day, bro. A lot.
There was so much. It was everywhere.
Yeah. G Garcia, what's up, man? Good to see you. Tyrone Davis says you like the thrill of being illegal. Hey, you know what? I guess that was cool for a while, but that wears out eventually. When you're in your 40s and late 40s, and like you happen to have a joint in your car, even though it's not burnt, and you get pulled over because you forgot about it, and you wind up doing 60 days in jail for it. It's no longer a thrill being illegal. That's definitely the case. Charlotte's Web, actually, the folks who made that strain, even though that girl died, unfortunately, passed away recently, I think, they now have an edibles company that they're making some real good edibles with. So I might do a video about that. So let's get into this real quick. I have some questions I want to make sure that I can ask for on behalf of the crew over here. 80s Miami was a wild time, dude. Believe it. That's a completely different show, my friend. So Ken, man, in terms of because you were already legal before COVID happened, right?
During COVID, I did it.
Oh, you did it during COVID. Okay. Because I was actually kind of wondering because that's really what my question was, is obviously the how you go and apply changed because of COVID, but do you think availability of cannabis changed when COVID hit?
Availability at the dispensaries?
Yes.
I mean, at first, no. There was actually quite a shortage in the early parts and through the summer, I think. And it actually took to probably pick back up again. But that has a lot to do with what growers were allowed to be here in Florida. That's a whole other story with where the state kind of messed with us, too. We just recently got a bunch of licenses. So you're now seeing the supply coming in much better than where it even in the summer of this year. So that's how quickly things are changing in this state, at least.
That's beautiful. So let's just get into it right away then. Since everyone, I'm sure a bunch of people are going to be asking this question, what's the process to get the first step that you need to take in order to get legal in the state of Florida, no matter where you are?
So basically, the first thing you need to do is talk to a certified doctor that can provide you with a consultation and ultimately a prescription based on the consultation. You don't have to bring medical records. You just have to know your medical history and be able to speak to the doctor about it. Yes, prior to COVID, you would probably be going into the facility, but it's not going to, again, like I said earlier, your doctor. You want to more go to these doctors, because that's what it's not a quack thing. These are real doctors, but they're understanding what this medicine can do for people. They're into it. They want to help you, and they're going to tell you if it's not going to happen. But there's a lot that you can say. I'm not telling you to say something you're not doing already, but there's a lot that you can say that is going to allow them to say, here you go, and that's it. Once you're prescribed through the doctor, you're done. So you're spending under $300. Maybe it's $250, maybe it's $300. It's right in there for this original consultation in the very beginning. That's right off the bat. Once you pay that, you're then going to get your scripts. Scripts are going to be lasting about 90 days or so. They're 35 days actually, but they'll stack them. They'll give you a couple of them at a time, and you'll pay about $50 per script for that. And then you'll pay $75 to the state for your card, and that's once a year. You'll pay that $75 just to the Department of Health, and you're going to have your own web page that's got your profile and it's got all your scripts. And when you have to do everything, it's super easy. And then once you get in with a dispensary, and I'm not necessarily going to back any one dispensary, but locally there are great ones. There's some little not so great ones. So, but the main one you'll probably see as soon as you start searching is very good. And the deals they give you by continuing to come are great. It's much less than you're going to pay on street value. I'm telling you that right now for sure. And that just depends on how you shop at the end of the day. You're going to get, a couple of ounces a month or every 35-day period is generally what they'll give you. I've got 2.5, but I think they range between 1.5 to 2.5.
Right on. And that is certifiedmarijuanadoctors.com. That's the website you're going to go to first. All
right. So that website there will get you straight into getting an application in, talk about what your stuff is. You could do it online. You could just fill out the website on their website right there. Or you can also check out the other web, which is for just some information, Canna MD. So we'll get that up for you in a minute. But
I got it right now. I just put it up.
Perfect. So both of those, the Canna MD will give you a lot of information about Florida cannabis legalization for medicinal purposes, so that you can feel about what you're doing and see a little bit more about what they're certifying as able to become, a participant. And it's well worth it. And there's people that have argued to me, well, I have a concealed weapons permit. It doesn't matter. You can have a concealed weapons permit and you can still hold your marijuana license. This is medical. It's all handled through the health department, and that's the way this is being dealt with. Everything's very quiet. It's to yourself. So you decide what you can't do. Now, obviously, as it pertains to work and what you can do at work, we all know that's all a different story. And you guys got to deal with that on your own. But this is a very easy way to just get in there and do it, and especially now since they're doing most everything over the phone.
And I want to go ahead and on the record, at least in terms of Colorado, and I know this has to do with the fact that we're talking about a health department handling this information. You do not need to say that you have a concealed weapons permit if you are applying for medical cannabis, and you don't need to say that you got a medical cannabis card if you're applying for a concealed weapons permit. You don't need to share that information at all. You can just say no for the rest of your fucking life. The two instances will never cross. There's no access for those two people to talk to each other. There's no gun dude talking to weed dude. It's just the reason why that system is set in place for privacy. And even though the world we live in right now is not necessarily geared that way, for the most part, where the medical records are very private. So I want you all to know that you don't need to divulge that information. Even though they'll ask you, just say no.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need to do that. So let's say there was someone who was like, all right, I went to these 2 websites and I checked out this information. That's cool and everything. Is there any way that someone would like be able to call someone and ask, hey, I want to get a medical card in Florida. What, how can I do that? Is there some number that you'd be able to call in order to do that?
Yes, the number that I called is a group that's right. I mean, it's the website that's there, Certified Marijuana Doctors, but in Sunrise, Florida. So there was a 4 number that they were the easiest to deal with. I'll be honest with you. They want to get you through and get you what you need. So that would be my recommendation. If you're ready to just go and do it, call the number. I think the websites are there if you want a little more information or if you feel better doing the online application. I called this number. I spoke to someone who was immediately ready to get the doctor. I was called the same day, in fact, and it was just, they just move it along. This is what they want to do. When you're ready to do it, like I said, be prepared. It could be up to $300 for that first shot, and then $75 to the state. That's where you're going to start. And then every 90 days, or I think it's about 90 to 100 days, you're going to pay again for your $150 for your scripts.
All right, that's good to know. So I know that in Colorado, or in my instance, because I'm a medical card holder here, I am allowed 2 ounces a day. I believe if you are just a recreational cannabis users, you can still get 1 ounce a day. That's obviously a lot of cannabis. What is a good instance of the average legal limit that someone could expect when they do become legal?
2 to 2.5 ounces every 35-day period.
Okay.
They do them on 35-day periods here. So I've got 2.5 ounces per 35-day period. And that's for obviously flower. They also give you separately another script for oral, and that's your concentrates. And you can get another, what averages out on the every 35 days is about 8,800 milligrams every 35 days. They actually give you those in 70-day increments. They just, to make it a little more difficult, but it's all there in front of you on the website. Easy enough. It's really not difficult at all. And it's well worth it to be able to just participate this way and being able to get your marijuana in such a great way, to be able to literally look on a app the day before and see all the different types, and yes, I want that and I want that, and pick it up. It's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, I actually had there's a website that I go to for my what used to be Wellspring, that that it's Good Chemistry now, but it's the same people over there. It's the same grow and all that good shit. And I go to Dutchy. So whenever I go to their website, I just fill it out and it goes to a cart and I can go pick it up now, which was something that I think became more popular. It was something I think that's been in effect for a while, but it became more popular during COVID because it was just a smart way. You didn't have to have so many people hanging out in front of your store.
Right.
But that's awesome, man. And so since you've been legal for, I guess we're talking April, May, something like that.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, it's that new to me as well. And it's been the best thing that I could have done. And like you said earlier, the get out of jail free card part of it, just to feel more comfortable. Again, I'm not driving around smoking either, but it's going to be in my car when I go one place or the other. And it's good to know that if I'm at my house, I can do this like what I'm doing right now. I mean, I would be a little worried to put myself on video on anything doing something like that if I wasn't supposed to be doing it, but having this card in my pocket, I'm sitting in my home right now. I can do this, and that feels great. Otherwise, honestly, I wouldn't do it.
It's definitely something that, hey, Bobby, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. I knew you'd check in eventually, man. It's one of those things that I try not every day not to take it, for granted, because, dude, I literally I can smoke anywhere I want. You know what I mean? Other than being in front of a cop, like, what's up, copper? You don't want to do that in life anyway. You don't want to antagonize anybody. But I'm talking concerts, and if you've got a pen, for the most part, as long as you're not like a dick and you're not blowing it in people's faces, like, the culture out here is just so crazy, dude. Like, and I understand what you mean by you cried when you left the dispensary. And I will compare it to the way I felt the first time I went to Texas Stadium, the first time I left a dispensary. Those are all kinds of like new world experiences. And just knowing the people that I've known that have done jail time, the people that are still in prison for fucking a pound of weed, due to mandatory minimums and shit like that. Like, all the expungement that's happening right now because of all the work of the people that happened before we even were smoking weed. We're talking 1972 when normal, or I think 1970 when normal was started. They've been doing it since then. And that's how long it took to get the overall mindset to change for everybody. And, I try not to take any of it for granted right now. The fact that I can go anywhere and be like, what kind of cannabis do I want today, dude? I don't know, man. Like it's and on that note, what kind of different strains can you get right now in South Florida?
Oh, wow. There's so many here that at first, like I told you, it was kind of a lull. We didn't have much, and we were choosing between, Jack Herrera or 9-pound hammer, White Buffalo. Those were the staples, and they still are here. Those are here all the time. Yeah. But now we're getting more, Northern Hash Plant, Lemon Skunk. We're getting a lot of the just stuff that I've really wanted for a while, and few things that I've never, some hybrid mixtures that it's like, yeah, sure. Let's see what that's all about, and those, sure. Exactly. Let's do this, challenge accepted. That one.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, comparatively, dude, when we would call up most of the same people, we all had the same connects in Miami. It would be like, it was never like, what do you have? It was always like, do you have? And as long as you have, we have, we're good.
Exactly.
Everybody have, and
exactly.
the ability to pick and choose. And that's another part of it that I always connect back to the medical portion of it, because obviously you want to try different stuff as a marijuana, as a cannabis user overall. You want to try as many different things as you can. But I wanted to try as many different strains of indica that I knew that would help my stomach pains that I had. All right. You know what I'm talking about, the crampings, the pains, the ice picks, and all that shit. Kushes are my world. I live in Kush world because of that. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until I was starting to able to be like, well, dude, this Kush, this is pretty good, but I probably shouldn't smoke it during the day. I can't smoke it during the day. This is what I can use at night so that I can go to sleep for a length of time without waking up with any sort of pains or anything like that. And that really is what opened my eyes. Like, wow, this is the world I'm in right now. I get to choose my medicine instead of having it thrown at me and forced down my throat, which most of the IBS medicine I took in my life just exacerbated my stomach problems in some way.
I had the same problems, and most stuff that I was told to do was just, fiber related, all the basics they tell you, and more of this and more of that. But none of that really worked, and at the end of the day, once you need something to help you that is really going to be a chronic issue that you're going to have to deal with, then ultimately you found it, and for me, I did. And that's what marijuana, that nothing else does. No, like you said, any other medications even that I've tried, or natural products as well. Oh, you need this vitamin more or that one. I tried it. It just hadn't worked. But this does, because at least relieves the pain of what I generally dealt with, day to day.
So for any of you folks that are out there in Texas, I'm going to speak on behalf of my brother, a good friend of mine, Mike M-Dub. He's one of the producers of the show. I haven't got him on the show, but he brought something up a while back, and I know that this is something you might have seen before it became medically legal in Florida. In Texas, you can actually go to stores that are basically dispensaries, and you can buy CBD flower, you can buy CBD cannabis that you can smoke legally and not get in trouble. But there's also a different cannabinoid version of tetrahydrocannabinol, which is Delta 8 and Delta 9, I think it's Delta 9. But they're selling it in different places, and I believe what they're doing is giving folks the impression that what they are smoking is your normal THC, which is not necessarily the case. And I don't really want to step on anyone's toes on this one, but someone had sent me a picture of some cannabis they had gotten in Florida, but they were an out-of-state medical patient. It wasn't allowed, and they sold them this saying it was THC. And when I saw the pictures, I saw that it was THC, but it was Delta 9, which is a different form. A completely different form of cannabis. So you can actually purchase that in Texas right now without really having to worry about anything. You won't get in trouble because it's not considered a narcotic. And that's something that you might want to look into right now until it gets legal. I would not go ahead and say continues to smoke that, for a while, because it's just not going to help you the way actual THC is going to help you. But there's a lot of stuff that's floating around right now. You just need to make sure that wherever you are, if you're purchasing it, that it's not just Delta 9, that you're able to get actual THC, because that's what's going to give you the effect that you're actually looking for. Jack Herrera is your favorite sativa, Sarah. Yeah. That's a fucking great strain named after a greater man. So yeah, that's a good one. And that's actually one that I avoid wholeheartedly. such a good fucking sativa. Y'all know I'm an indica dude. Actually, I take that back. I do smoke XJ13. Excuse me, XJ13 from time to time. And that's G13 crossed with Jack Herrera. So that's sort of I can get close to Jack, but Jack is actually a really, really high sativa for me, sort of like lemon haze, lemon skunk, where if I smoke it, I know I'm going to sort of at one point be like, God damn it, man, my heart doesn't feel cool. Like it's fucking with me. Either that or I've just talked myself into that at this point. I'm just psychosomatically against sativa for no fucking good reason. I don't know.
Oh, I love sativas. I'm a sativa guy.
Yeah, and you have to be awake during the day. You got your own business. You've got a lot of
Yes.
I do not want my pool, the guy who is putting together my $2 million pool, to be chock full of indica in the morning. No. You know, that's definitely not the case.
Yeah. Sativa's the way
in the hole.
Lively. All about being lively. It's Miami. We have to be lively.
Indeed. Sarah, I think what you were saying about pills, they were feeding you 20 pills a day. I think you were telling me that. That's the last show when we were talking about has cannabis gotten you away from any issues in your life or any substances. I remember you telling me that a couple people did actually. I think most of the folks that I know that were being prescribed oxys, Vicodins, somas, all that stuff, you know, cannabis is a way to get out of that. It's a real good way to get out of that. I know I've got people in my family that had, you know, back issues that had to take those pills for so long and didn't realize what it did. And if you've got stomach issues now, I can't even tell you what it does to your stomach once you start taking those kinds of pills over and over again. It's horrible what it does to your digestive system. And it's a whole different ball of wax that you're going to get into some more issues with. But you know what, EB, if you want to come in and chill out, man, let me go ahead and send you this. I'm going to send you our link real quick. If anybody feels like coming in and talking about anything medical, you know, for sure, let me know. I can get you into the show right now. It looks like BG might be spending some extra time on the seesaw right now, so I don't know. I don't know if he's coming in or not, but his spot's always here for him. He knows that shit. He's probably stuck in traffic or something. But when you go to this website, do you have to? And again, since you've been doing this remotely, basically, is what I'll call it. Do you have to produce when you go to your dispensary a piece of paper or something on your phone or anything like that? Like, how do they know that you're a medical patient when you walk into your dispo?
You get them your card, basically. You're going to have your card. You're going to hand it to them, right? And they're going to know who you are at that point. And most of them are going to be either pickup or you can have a walk-in. So you choose what you're going to do. And then they put you on a list because you're generally going to be waiting, depending on when you go. And people are waiting in their cars now. So they just text you when you're ready. At 2 or 3 in at a time, but they're good. It's just, you know, end of the day, you go at 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. It's busy. You know, they're mostly open from 8 to 8 Monday, 7 days a week, 8 to 8. Yeah. So you can walk in as well. It just depends when you go. You know, middle of the day, easy to do. But yeah, you'll have your card. Your card's everything. Your card's your get out of jail free card. So you need that all times when you're driving and everything, and it'll be what you'll need at the dispensary as well. So that's just an ID card. They use my driver's license picture, which is terrible. So
I think you just scared a few people out of getting out of that. I know if my wife knew anything about that, she would have ran from that information. That's
you can change it on the website ahead of time. I actually knew it was happening. I was like, whatever. I wasn't about to look for a picture and fit it in the little box and all that. And then
so is it a physical card that they send you, or are you able to download it?
No, it's a physical card. It's a physical card that you're going to get in the mail.
Yep. They did that for us for years. Matter of fact, it's before 2 or 3 years ago, actually, they started doing it where you just had to go directly to our health department now and you download a PDF. For some reason, though, like you had to keep it in the like 1-page format. So I used to carry around a freezer bag with my fucking license in it because they wouldn't let you shrink it down to like credit card size, which blew me away. But I think that's what they allow right now. So Mike Rock, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. I knew you'd show up eventually. Everybody's going to be popping in and out. Again, I love it when people come in and show up to the Square Grouper show. I love it when they're interacting. But if they're not, the information is still going to be out there for you to check out later if you want, which is really the most important thing, making sure that everybody in the community is getting this. I want you to learn how to grow. I want you to learn how to get cannabis legally, medically in your state. That's definitely what I'm leaning towards here. But Sarah says she loves it in 2020. You can drive up and get weed faster. You can get food. Yeah. As someone in the food industry for my entire life, I can definitely agree with that, man. You know, where I work today, it was fascinating. I don't want to get on a rant here, but I had, and we're not allowing people in the restaurant to eat. They can only take it to go or sit on the patio, but they are just lined up 20 deep, right back to back to back to back. They don't even care. It's almost like I feel like food service establishments are like so hot that they're immune to coronavirus, so that when you walk in, you don't have to fucking worry about breathing up on somebody. But yeah, that's a little bit weird, man.
Yeah, down here it's been a little weird too, with restaurants being able to go back to full capacity because our governor is crazy. But the ones that are, I go in there, I take out still. But I walk in there and man, they're packed. For a little while, they were spacing the tables apart and stuff like that. Now it's just like, and I get it. I mean, the restaurants need money. They're doing their thing, but man, they're just all packed in there.
Colorado really kind of, they're very odd the way that they're cutting edge on everything. There's a lot of restaurants you can go to now that have those like external pods that you can go into that are heated, like clear cylinder bubble things, and you can go in there and eat. Like, this is fucking badass, dude.
I guess. I mean, it's just like such extremes. Like some people are like, yeah, whatever. And other people are like, we need to do all this. Well, I mean, come on. And it's mitigating on your own, I guess. Everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to do this all the time or that all the time. No, you're not. You're going to do this sometimes. You do that sometimes. And it's just the way it's going to be. And
well, I'll tell you real quick before I bring another friend in here. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask Mr. Ken Mann before we start opening up a little bit and getting a little silly and stupid? Jess, what's up? I'm glad you showed up. I knew you'd be here. Does anybody have any questions about Florida medical cannabis? If you do, write it in the comments section, and we'll get those questions answered. It's one of the main reasons why I brought Ken Mann on, so that folks in Florida that are seeing this, whether they're friends of ours or not, know how actually easy it is to become medically legal. And I want to tell you one of the benefits to being medically legal. Don't worry about the fact that you can buy it legally now. That's also a great thing. But if it does become recreationally legal at some point in your state, you're going to be paying a lot more money to recreationally purchase your cannabis than you are if you're going to medically purchase your cannabis. Depending on state to state, that could be a big number or a little number. I know that it's not a huge number here. I think I walk out of my dispensary for an ounce for about $188 recreationally, but for medically, I walk out for $155. And so the taxes have everything to do with that. So I definitely wanted y'all to know that. But if you had any questions, feel free to throw them up there. Do you have a contact, Ken, to that number? Or is it just that number and you called it up and you just said, hey, I'm interested in getting a medical card in Florida. How do you do that?
Yeah, more than likely it's going to be Donna. She picks up the phone generally all the time at that number directly. If you call that 954 number, otherwise it'll be someone in her office there that will be able to connect you directly. And again, they're out of Sunrise, Florida, but they're connected everywhere. So if you are somewhere other than South, if you're in Tampa or if you're in Gainesville or Jacksonville, go check the website, because they're going to direct you right to them. And this is still the same group, the certified marijuana doctors. That's the one you want to go to for the appointment, to get everything set up and to get your card. The Canna MD is more just for some information, so you can feel a little more comfortable about everything if you need to. And for veterans, you guys, seriously, girls, you need to absolutely 100% get on board with this. It's for you 100%. I've got friends of mine that just were nervous about it, and they saw that I did it, and I helped them. I said, here's the numbers, do this, do this, do this. And all of them are on board now. And, it's for, that group, to be honest with you. You guys really need it the most, and it's there for you. Oh, no, I got people lighting fireworks off here. It's not gunshots in the background.
Good Lord. I was just going to say, holy shit, bro.
New Year's, man. I mean, they're starting early. That's how they do it here. Between Noche Buena and now we got New Year's, there's a lot of fireworks and stuff in this area. I hope they're fireworks.
I know the area you live in. If there's gunshots, it's deliberate. There's someone is getting fired at. That's the case. That's just not some fucking woohoo. But thanks, man. I appreciate that. So I think we're gonna bring in my homie, another 305er. Although he wasn't born there, he is a 100% card carrying member of the 305 Club. Let's put our hands together for our brother Eric B.
Bob Riley, thank you, Ken. You guys have provided some really good information, stuff that I've been living in Florida for most of my life, and I've really just sort of been enlightened because I haven't gone and looked on my own. So now I know, and I thank you for that.
We're here for you, man.
It's just a phone number now, dude. At this point, you can just call them up and be like, yo, my name is Sonny Jefferson. How do I get the weed? And then, whatever. And after that, you can just go back to your regular voice because they're going to be like, Mister, you don't have to really hide your voice anymore. We're going to get you this cannabis. You're good to go.
Yeah. What's up, Mandarino? Yeah, I wanted to switch it up to some sports talk because you guys gave all that good information. I was like, well, what's up? The Dolphins might get the playoffs and the Cowboys might make the playoffs. 2020 is all whacked out, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy Campbell. What's up, Brandy? How you doing? 305ers remember Brandy. We all went to school with Brandy. What the hell? What's up?
Yes. I've never Brandy.
We know what's up, Brandy. Brandy has been down since day one, man. Thanks for supporting, Brandy. You're fucking badass. You always get that killer Oregon weed, too. God dang. You keep posting those pictures. I like them. There's some strains. I mean, look, I know a lot. I know a lot about a lot of strains. Y'all know this, man. But some of you guys start popping stuff up where I'm like, I don't fucking know what that is. If it's the name that I can derive strains from, it's easy. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that are very derivative names, but there's some new stuff out now that I don't even know. I'm going to go back to chemistry.
Banana hammock.
That's
what?
I swear to God, man, there's this strain here, banana hammock. I was like, what? I had a banana hammock. Yeah. That's
well, can't be that bad.
Let me tell you right now, I had to look it up yesterday, and I was actually like, I was tripping because if I had found that strain, I wouldn't know what it was crossed with. I probably would be a little apprehensive, but it's Mandarin Sunset and Grape God. So forget about it is all I'm going to say. That is a great strain right there, man.
That's my nighttime. I use that for nighttime. I had to get it.
Good night.
That's crazy name up that, and that just knocks me out. Knocked out.
Yeah, it's like night.
It's nice though.
Night. Yeah. So, if you know anybody that's out there in your area, man, just know that it's an easy phone call to make, and like I said, the two worlds are not normally crossed between jobs and that and yada yada. So,
yeah,
information to anybody who might need to know that.
Yeah, I'll be not experimenting, but like looking into it, doing my own research for sure, a little bit more.
Good. And
donkey butter, bro. What's up with Sarah? She likes the donkey butter.
Is that a strain or is that now? I'm gonna Google that shit now because right over I guess it's some strange shit. The butter that I've smoked before has all been concentrate, so now I need to find out because if it ain't concentrate, then that's just another one where nope, it's a strain. God damn. Let's find out what's in that shit. Donkey butter.
You don't want to be smoking that butter, boy.
That's actually really good, man. That's Grease Monkey and Triple OG.
Yeah, I know.
Grease Monkey is a Gorilla Glue 4 mixed with cookies and cream, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know that. That's some pretty decent stuff right there. Does anybody, I tell you what, since you've been able to kind of choose and pick whatever you get from your dispensary, what is probably, if you have a go-to that you get all the time, Ken, man, what is the go-to that you get?
Well, some of that's based on what's available, but Super Silver Haze and it's a go-to. So I'm a sativa guy again, so it's and honestly, that's the most old school for me that I remember the most. It's so great. That's just a fantastic scent. It reminds me of a bunch of friends' cars before I even drove. It's awesome. I mean, seriously, that to me is always my go-to for sure here. And I like trying different things now, of course, because there's so much. So I'm always trying stuff, and my mix, because I take like the last bit of everything and I put it in the grinder. So that's kind of like my mix right there. That's some potent stuff, That's
it smells like Otto's jacket.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, well, you just put everything in there. So whatever it winds up being, you just roll it up and you don't know what's going to happen. That's actually what I smoked tonight was the mix. And I feel great.
What kind of grinder do you have? Do you have a specific kind of grinder that you use, or you just get whatever grinder you can get?
I've had the same one for a while. The old school metal. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. It's not a cheesy one. It's a pretty good one. Someone actually got it for me for a holiday something.
I'm gonna say it's lasted long. Those space cases from back in the early 2000s those are still around. I asked because I had a canister sent to me from Riot. That's one of the most badass tri-level grinders I've ever had in my life, and it's just kind of really small. And I didn't use them really up until that point. I had been habitually, as you know, using my coffee grinder. To me, I learned like that's good to go. I was able, and like the levels were real easy to figure out, but the grinder I took a little bit getting used to with that. But the keef catch part of it is a plus, man. That's for sure.
Yes, definitely is. Can you guys
still use the old school? Ken, man, I still use the old school shot glass with the red scissor handle, boy.
Wow, that's the way to do it, man. That's the way to do it. I got no problem with that.
And Bob knows when I'm chopping that shit up, boy, because you can hear it in the background. Chop, 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 chop.
It's a very, very distinct noise, man. Once you hear the glass and the blade going against each other, you know something's about to go down. It's a party over here, man. It's funny because I think I'd have been on the phone with him one time and I heard the clink, 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 and I was like, turned my head like a dog, like, I know what that shit is.
Chop that shit up, boy.
And it gets the Jamaican accent at the same time. Oh.
You know,
a tri-level metal one that seems to be the norm now. When the first space case I ever got, which I think was 2002, was just one. It was just a hamburger with teeth. And then whatever you got, and it was just like you basically were tearing your pot apart. Is really what you were doing. But it was better. I guess at some point it was better than using your finger, or you just felt cooler. I don't know. What BG always says is he likes the ability to feel the cannabis when he's breaking it up and rolling it into his joints, which I totally 100% get. You know, some people think that the grinder is just a middleman that stops you from getting high faster.
Well, doesn't the oils on your fingertips actually take away from the THC off the bud when you?
My man, are you trying to fucking get a prize or something, dude? Are you paying attention? That's insane. Yeah, dude, 100%, man. But you know what? I suppose this is the deal. If you were to have come back from a swampy run in South Florida and went directly into your bag and started handling it, it would probably be really degrading. But for the most part, I think your fingers are okay, but you are degrading it no matter what you do when you're touching it. And over the years, you start figuring this out. How many people touched the bag of weed that you bought before you bought it back in the day? You probably had some real good bud at one point before it went through 9 people and came to you. That was all squeezed and fucking, no, this is great. And they threw it at a wall probably. Like, yeah, you don't ever know. Yeah, or they did the old. Yes. Have I ever heard of little medtainers? I have not. There was a joke in there somewhere too, Jess, but I couldn't come up with it. I don't know what a medtainer is. Holler. Throw it in the comments. I read taint in there, so you have to give me a pass on that. That's
one. From the best read ever, bro. Dallas, what's up?
Meditainer.
Oh.
I have not seen those, no. But I know that there's like ridiculous grinders out right now. I still will always stick by the coffee grinder, man. Although the ones that they make now are pretty much made to break. Well, I don't understand if they can't handle fucking cannabis, how they're going to handle coffee beans.
Yeah, right. Coffee beans a lot more dense.
Unless you've got what I call the old school reggae Texas press bud that they would give you like a quarter pound and the size of a nickel. You just needed to add water and it fucking blew up on you. And then that might be the way to go. But
yeah, you're buying those Amazon grinders, man. You got to stay away from that cheap stuff, man. You got to go a few pages down and find like the Black & Deckers and stuff. I mean, you got
straight to the coffee shop. I bought mine at a coffee shop. That's just still kicking.
There you go.
That's a good way to do it.
Right?
You stay away from the Amazon pick because that's just what they're pushing at the time.
Oh God, it's usually crap.
You go there with the reason, and I'll tell you what, and Ken, you're going to want to know this. During the quarantine, when I set my grow up, I bought every single thing on Amazon.
Wow.
Everything. All of my lights, other than the ones that were sent to me from companies and vent fans that were sent to me from companies, I bought everything, and it was pretty good, man. So once anyone really gets to the point where they want to maybe turn a room into a grow room with a tent in it, I'm the dude. 100%.
Gotcha.
It's a little container with a grinder, and it fits a little one-hitter bat. Oh, shit. You know what? Okay, yeah. Is that the one where you push one side and it ashes the one-hitter for you? Because that's badass. I've seen a couple of those, and that's something that I don't understand how that technology did not hit the marijuana world in 1979 when one-hitters were fucking real big. Because having to trying to get that
eardrums out.
You got something?
Right, dude. Like, just, fucking, yeah, I got my kit here. You need a 12 gauge or 11 gauge metal rod? I got that. We didn't all have that.
No.
Gotta have that dugout. Hopefully it's not nappy.
Yeah, that was good, man. For all y'all Cube fans out there, y'all should have put up applause there for Eric B. Come on, man. That's bullshit. Oh, you want a Meditainer? Apparently, they're easily attainable. Dallas just got the hookup. I imagine they're probably on one of those on Amazon. Probably. I'll send you a pic. 100%.
That's cool.
Nice, Dallas. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Community coming together, everybody talking. Hey, Ken, man, it's good. I had to tell Bob, you guys talk your thing. I'm gonna tune in and listen, and then I want to come in and talk some smack about some sports or whatever. But we haven't even gone there yet. But I guess there's no need to really go there because I don't know. There's so much uncertainty.
Well, you know what? I tell you what, just save it for the pregame ritual on Sunday because you know we're doing that anyway. So if you want to actually come into the pregame ritual on Sunday, save all that shit. You're doing it.
Ken too should come in.
Fuck yeah! Why not?
Cowboys, man. You're gonna be talking about my Dolphins.
No, bro, it's a sports talk show, bro.
We got a game, man. We got a must. You both have big games. I mean, you guys have to hope on other people doing stuff too. We have a win-win situation, so it's nice. Yep. Well, it just depends if Buffalo's going to be nice to us or not. So let's see what happens.
Well, we all
know
there's nobody at the beginning of the season that was saying to themselves, this fucking Dolphins team is going to the playoffs this year. And it's a habit that anyone goes to, just as the same thing you probably say, unless, Dallas fans definitely were probably saying things like that. But the defense fucking came through this year for you guys, man.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it definitely was. And that's to me, together, obviously, by Flores, thing that he implemented here in Miami has just been incredible. And him working with Greer, I mean, to have finally a tandem together that work together, a general manager and a head coach, the way they do, an owner that gives everything he can give and just stay out of it. Finally, this is what this organization has. To be honest with you, I love you guys, but it was the Cowboys who screwed this Dolphin organization. Not directly, but it was Bill Parcells. When that man came here, and he brought with him Jeff Ireland, who single-handedly made some of the worst picks that I've ever seen. He was the worst general manager ever. Tony Sperano, rest in peace. I love you, Tony. I do. But man, you're a terrible head coach for us. All Dallas Cowboy connections coming to Miami to literally destroy our organization for like 20 years. I blame you guys for this. I know a lot of Cowboy fans. I love you guys, though. I do. My boys will tell you I do. Mad respect. But at the same time, I feel like we're finally out of that. Greer and Flores are showing this organization is going to be all about. Players want to play for a coach like that. There was a play this season where a guy got hit twice, our punt returner twice late, and with no call, and our coach ran on the field, man.
Yeah, he did.
On the field. That's the kind of stuff players in the NFL look at and say, hell yeah, man, I want to get behind a guy like that. That's the kind of coach we finally have. I love it.
And you know what? Ken? Not to cut you off, but I agree. Because I seen that, and I see that, but I seen also what he's doing with the quarterback position. And what he's doing is something that nobody's successfully done since Shula's done when he brought the team to the Super Bowl, going back and forth with two different quarterbacks. And he's doing it successfully now with Tua and Fitzgerald. And you know what? They might get to the Super Bowl in the same. I don't know if they won it that year. I think it was 74. What?
But they're not this year. This offense isn't good enough to do it this year. The defense is definitely doing their due, but no, it's not. It's funny that we're playing Buffalo this week because Buffalo is the team that I feel is like 2 seasons ahead of Miami in their rebuild. And it's fun watching them, to be honest. In our division, I want our division to be great again. It's been terrible with New England and nobody else. So I want to see somebody build back up in our
Michael
yours, and it's funny where we can do that.
Thrower says it was the Giants, not the Cowboys connection. I guess the first spawn
and Toronto and everybody came from the Cowboys. It was directly his ton of money to Ross.
You're cutting out a little bit, Ken. You might have frozen on us.
Yeah, I froze a little bit. Sorry. See, the Cowboy fans are mad at me. I'm sorry. It was definitely for the Cowboys. I don't mind. It is what it is. I had to suffer for what, 2 decades. We're good now again.
Yeah, I mean, we're also talking about we sent Jimmy Johnson there too. I think Wanstedt went there too, right? There was a lot of people that I think that we were when they were released from Dallas, they wind up going over there, and I don't know having the same success. It's just that Also, I can go on record by saying the lightning in the bottle thing happened for like a 4-year period with the Cowboys too, with just having a lot of things going for them. Frozen Ken, there we go, Bobby. I knew I would get someone to say that since we didn't have a Frozen Barry pop up today, so Frozen Ken has.
It's usually BG Barry. Yeah, Barry Gibson. What's up, bro? Where you at, man?
I don't know, man. I texted him too to see where he's at. Again, you know what I'm saying? I think maybe he's probably. I don't really know if he's in town yet. He might still be in Orlando.
I gotta go hook him. I gotta go hang out. Hey, 305 though. No, for real. That when Shula's done it though, and I hate to harp on it again, but he did it with 2 quarterbacks, Greasy and who was it? Strock?
Earl Morrill.
Shula was good.
Earl Morrill. Yeah, it was Earl Morrill. He was the backup that went all the way through. Greasy came back in the Super Bowl, but still, that was by injury that had to happen. We're switching guys like relief pitchers right now, so Fitzmagic comes in and helps out when Tua's struggling. I love that Tua's getting experience right now, so we could see what this kid's got. We've got a top 5 pick coming from Houston. Thanks to
Oh my God, dude. That Tunsil trade fucking hooked you up, man.
And second round. We have their first and second round picks. So we've got great draft stock. And we've been picking well. We've been showing out, man. And everyone got mad that Tunsil, I mean, seriously, Tunsil and Kenny Stills for 2 picks and 2 second round picks. People were actually mad about Miami. I was like, you out of your mind? Who else do you want? You need someone else? That's insane to get that.
You can just you can replace that position with someone very good and without feeling any form of bust from it.
Yep, we actually already have our rookie. We have 3 rookies playing on that offensive line, still doing. That's why our offense isn't ready yet. That's why we're not going to make a lot of noise this season. We may lose this game against Buffalo. They may be the team to knock us out and let Baltimore get in or someone else. But let's see what happens. I hope they make it. It's good for the experience. And Fitzmagic never been in the playoffs. This would be his first time in the playoffs. So for him, man, that would be great. It would be great.
I would like to see that actually, just for Fitzpatrick, just honestly because of who he is and how he's been such a good consummate professional going from 8 different teams. And I didn't even know that he's never been in the freaking playoffs. Like go Fitzmagic. Like I'm all about it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always cool to see some people getting their due. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Bob with the thing in the back, bro. That's hilarious. He's got the 5-point star. Wait, he's changing up his.
I can do what I want, man. I can make your grill all big.
I like
that. Man. I'm glad that you guys were able to come hang out, man. I mean, it's the information that we got out right now, I think, is pretty big. We weren't able, obviously, to get into the Washington State information because BG is frozen somewhere in time right now. Although I did get an alert right now. Hold on. Let's see if we get some communication from Lost BG. I don't know, man. BG, if you want to come on, we're just like Sylvester. We're still on. That was the worst joke I ever said. Why the fuck do you guys why do you even have me as a friend?
We always have
that's a good question. Is there a cannabis bar in Denver? We have yet to approve indoor clubs. I know that you can go to a club that if you have if it's a private club that has a membership, then you can go to a premises and smoke like you would anywhere else. But that's just like charging your homies $5 to come hang out. That doesn't make any sense. I'm already at an age right now where I don't need to go hang out with a bunch of other people who are smoking cannabis. Me and my friends are just fine. You know what I mean? I just not that social thing has been something that's gone it's been a while, but that's not to say that if I'm at a concert, I'm not smoking cannabis, man. I'm smoking with everybody who's there. And all of you know that. Everyone in the square knows this shit right now. So, oh shit. Look who we got, man. Our brother is here, man. BG. Oh, look at the Grogu.
Nice. What's up, Barry Gibson in the house?
Oh shit! Did you come in? Did you come in, Frozen B?
Uh-oh.
What are you kind of? Oh, he's got the Mad Mask on, boy.
Man.
Are you there? I think you're frozen, man.
It's only meant to be, bro.
Got me?
He's also in, traveling around. You're on Wi-Fi.
He's sort of there.
Bro, am I hearing the Yoda voice or am I tripping right now, man? Because I'm smoking concentrates as well as flower. So, yo, I think that maybe BG putting. Oh, okay, hold on. I think we got you, B.
Yeah.
What's cracking? There it is.
What's good, man?
Well, you got to be fucking with me, man. You know I'm heavily sedated at this point right now. How's everything going? I'm guessing you're in Orlando. You're in Kissimmee right now still?
Yeah, nah, we just got back, man. We was at Hollywood, I don't know, Universal Hollywood, one of them studios over there, man. It was packed.
One of them studios, and you were right. It's Universal, I think. But
Universal as fuck.
That's badass.
What's
man.
going on, man? I apologize for getting on late, man. Like I said, you know what I mean. It's crowded out here, and the Wi-Fi, as you see, I just took it off Wi-Fi. That's the only way I could get on.
I knew that you would probably be out there having fun with. When you said you were at the park with the kid, I was like, dude, he's with his kids. Why? I mean, I'm not even gonna fuck with you, man. We got most of this stuff taken care of, and then I was like, I'm gonna try and see if he's around. So that's why I knew you were gonna. I was gonna get you an invite anyway, but I wanted to make sure you at least had some fun. You know what I mean? Because that's an experience. If you've never been out there, man, I mean, going as an adult is the shit. It's not something I realized until I went as an adult. I was like, this is fucking great, man. Like, man, you can eat a little bit of shroomage and you can have a lot of fun out there as an adult, is all I'm saying.
Walt Disney got it on lock, man. What up, Eric B? I see you, man. What's going on, Ken, man?
How you doing, brother?
Good, man. I see you got the Miami colors on.
You know I do, man. That's what I do. I'm outnumbered.
It's all good, man.
We're all on the same cannabis team here. It doesn't even matter.
Exactly. We all like green. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah. If you go when you go back and check out the video, Barry, I know that you're gonna appreciate all the stuff that Ken Man was spilling, man. He had a lot of real good, quick, easy information for phone numbers and connections for people to just call. It's so easy to do right now. He's definitely in support of the veterans, man. He's like, we're all in that same boat right now, knowing that of all the people in the world right now that should be having quick access to it right now, it should be our vets.
100%.
I had my hopes up too high, man. We got my medical card up there in Seattle. I'm like, man, you should be in the game. You registered with the Department of Health, dude. And then you come to Florida and they say, if you don't live here, you can't get no weed, man. I'm like,
let me ask you, have you had a chance to sample that Delta cannabinoid stuff yet?
Nah, man. I'm over here on the campus, so I got to sneak out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I've been eating them gummies, but they're 15 milligrams per gummy. It was 300 per bottle. So that's kind of been, tying me over. But, I'll find a way. I'm going to find a way here in a minute, man. I got some laundry to do. You know what I mean? So I have to sneak out.
Yeah, because I tell you what, man, it's legal because it's a different molecule found in cannabis. It still does have the thing is, I think it snuck into the market without being able to be scheduled. So it snuck it into the market on the wings of CBD, which is why you are able to get it without. You're basically just walking into Florida as a non-medical card holder and being able to buy that is basically how it is. And it's because it's just something that hasn't been scheduled yet. It's a cannabinoid, and it's going to get you different than what you are before you ingested it.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to have some. I was hoping to have some feedback by now. I apologize. Like I said, we're out here in Orlando, so they got the mass police every corner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want to be in Mickey Mouse jail on acid, man. All the characters are down there. This shit gets crazy. It's a bad place to be, man.
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I ain't trying to go there.
No, it is nutty. Sarah saying, what's up?
What up, Sarah? I see you. Hope you got my address. She said she sent it to the wrong address. I see you got yours. What she sent you?
Oh, shit. I got a bunch of weed on it, but here we go. I'm going to tilt the camera towards it. You got me a nice little rolling tray with
wow,
the star on it, a little leaf in the middle. I was like,
That's
holy shit, man, that was badass. I guess she said somebody that was 3D printing it, and she got a couple made. Leslie Ann, what's going on? What's going on? Gambler checking in. What's up, dude? Good to see you as always. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming in, man. I'm running a little extra today, man, because I got a good friend here hanging out with us. I got all 4 good friends with me right now, so I'm not inclined right now to stop this program. Y'all are gonna have to tell me when you want to leave.
I got sidetracked. Sorry. I was lost in Mary Jane Lane.
Oh, okay. You're driving your little go-kart around Mary Jane Lane. I get it.
Yeah, something like that.
Hey, Eric, I know that you're not a card holder or anything like that, but have you seen visually any cannabis dispensaries in the Crystal River area?
There is one. I drive by it every day.
Is there a line out the door ever? Good. That means at least that part of Florida is deciding what the fuck they should be doing, bro. That was a good answer, Eric. Good shit, man. I was like, God, man, it's not like my restaurant, hopefully.
The people that move around, most of them in Miami, are probably not thrilled. I was thinking about that because, there's apartments near me I go to, and everybody's blocking their front entrance and everything. There's cars everywhere, It depends when you go, like I said, but still, it's getting more and more popular here.
Yeah, and again, the stigmas are dropping and stuff like that. BG, the next show we do, we can go ahead and throw up your unless you have it on hand right now, which I doubt. You're out at the Magic Kingdom right now. If you've got information on how anybody in your state can get, if you've got a link or anything like that, I could throw it up in the comments. It's pretty much what I've been doing with Ken Man, with the links and stuff that he's throwing us, so that anyone in Florida can do it. If you knew one offhand, I would post it, but if not, we can get to that at another time.
You talking about for medical to get your medical card?
Yeah,
all the links. I mean, you gave them all to me, man. I didn't know anything about it.
I'm
like, damn,
just making sure.
Yeah,
I know you're part of the club right now, so I figured you were just like, fuck it. Now I'm in there professionally because I know you're shopping around, just like Ken Man shopping around too. Sometimes you want to be brand loyal. And let me ask you, Ken, since you're a med card holder, and you said they offer you deals if you continuously go back there. Does that mean you have to sign up for their registry at that store in order for you to accrue those kinds of points over time?
I mean, I guess you do become a member. I mean, but you're not paying anything for this. They get through your card as soon as you walk in. You don't have to do any more than that. They're going to register you there. So it doesn't mean you have to get everyththing from them. You can go to any dispensary you want.
Can you register as a medical card holder at multiple dispensaries, or can you only do it at one dispensary at a time?
Once you medical card, any dispensary, anyone and that card is going to give you the okay to get into that door and start talking to those people. But it's up to you which one you want to go to. And there's a couple that you're going to see them right away when you search, and they're great. So don't think that the top ones aren't going to be good. They're probably going to be one of the better ones because they have access to so much more. Some of the smaller ones are going to take a little bit longer, I think, to get to where the consistent levels of crops and then variations at the same time, because everything obviously is grown here in Florida, as most states have done. It can't be grown anywhere else and brought here. So, it's taking a little time to get that set up here, and especially because of the slow rollout, because of, government basically. But we just recently got a bunch of new growers, so they're starting up, and I know people that are working with them, getting them started up out in Homestead, and I know you 304 where I'm talking about. It's a bunch of farmland, very close to Miami. So that's what they're starting to do out there, and it's becoming a much bigger thing. So it's only getting better in the state of Florida, to be honest. It's great.
Leslie Ann Donaldson said that it's crazy expensive. I don't know. You might have just joined the show. It does have a cost, but it's usually only, and it's the same thing out here. It was an initial cost for me in Denver and this is I'm talking 2008, so very, very long time ago. It was an initial cost of a couple $100, and then another couple $100 to the state. Whereas it's probably just about, like you said, $200 for the initial doctor visit, and then the application to the state is going to cost you about $75, right?
Right. Yeah. So about you got to figure at the $250 is what I paid for my initial visit, and then it was another $70 state, and then every 80 days, 100 days, whatever it is, you're going to pay $150 again, and that's going to get you 3 more scripts, to put you through for the next that next period. So I think when you break all that down, and you don't pay that initial fee again, then ultimately, what you're saving by how you're purchasing. At least this is what I go to one dispensary because the point system is great, and they give us percentages off. If you're military, 100%, you're getting discounts from this place. So all of my military buddies, they all get their discounts at this place as well. I set one of them up, and then he showed the rest of them because they'll listen to each other more than just someone like me. But I have mad respect for them, man, and I honestly, I feel like they're the ones that are going to benefit the most in this state for sure. The advantage of it, it's really easy.
Hell to the yeah. That's good stuff right there, man. Leslie Ann said that your doctor wanted to see him. Yeah, I mean, look, if you have like a family doctor, that's not the person you need to go to for your medical cannabis information.
No, you need to go to one of them listic places. That where you sent me, it was 180 up in Washington. You know what I mean? And I asked them out here too, and I hit the dispensary, and I was mad. I came in stunned. I'm like, I'm a veteran, and I got my medical card, and I need some weed. And they're like, "Are you a resident?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Bye." What the fuck? You know what I mean? And you know, then they sent me to the Miracle Leaf guy in the front with all the CBD stuff to have the doctors in there. These are veterans, so we got to chopping it up. And so I'm like, man, you got flour in there? It's like the other side of the game, the CBD. You know what I mean? So it's all education for me. It looks the same, but it don't hit the same. So we're gonna find out tonight.
Yeah, that'll be good to know. Save that information for sure. All right. Well, if they want to see you, if that's a neurologist, then I'm not. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about that. Cannabis and neurology are two things that definitely need to communicate. So I get you there. That's not something I would even play with. If you have to see a neurologist, fuck that.
At the end of the day, if there's other medical conditions that you have that's not going to work with this type of medication, then you should be listening to professionals that know a whole lot more than any of us do at that, on that topic.
Yeah. But veterans, man, the big thing is, like when I said PTSD, the conversation just changed. Oh, PTSD. And then he went right into saying, well, we got oils, we got edibles. Like he like, you in the house. So I'm like, wow, that was quick. So yeah.
Ken Man too. Ken had something he dealt with in his past that was probably another, I think you told me the doctor was like, don't fucking say any more now.
Yeah.
Do not say anymore now. You're good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was one of the big ones. So that one was, that one they're always going to do that with, but not everybody needs that. That's why I don't like to use that example, because I was already on board to getting it prior to, having even gotten that far with my memory.
But the trick is you got to at least have it on the paperwork, because if the doctor goes, look, just to verify, you can't just say the shit, because then you're going to, shut the door. So be careful with that.
I mean, there's a possibility for sure, but I think at least I know the person that he's talking to right now is definitely going to probably going to qualify you just based on the actual things you're dealing with, which we're all, it's 2020 right now. Every single person in America should be smoking cannabis, dude. You know what I mean? What's your pre-existing condition? The fact that I survived this fucking year right now should really give me qualifications for cannabis, no matter where I am in the United States right now. So, it's and I'm not really trying to be too complicated.
Yeah.
It's the dead truth, man. There's been a lot of crazy shit going on this year, and the good thing and what I've seen is I feel like the states overall are going to be legal before it is federally legal. For me, that's really what I think is going to happen. I think over the next year or two, we're going to see so many more states.
We're at 33 right now, right?
Yeah, 33, 34, I think.
I seen Marijuana Moment tweet out today something about a bill going up for 2022, and I'm like, wait a minute. What happened to the MORE Act in 2021? I still got to go to the Senate, right? So I guess they're preparing in case they shoot that down, because you see everything else getting shot down.
100%.
So, 2022 is going to be next year or 2022. So I don't know. We got to find out more info, unless you guys know what's up with that.
Well, I'll tell you that's definitely, if it does get smashed by Senate, which I think at this point we probably have a better chance of it not happening and not getting shut down, but there still is the possibility that it does get shot down. If that's the case, you don't just stop fighting. Obviously, you know that. So that's probably what they're doing. They're getting their ducks up in that row, and they're like, all right, well, if you're not going with us, we're going to go with this. We're going to hit you with this at one point. So, and that's where voting.
I think
it's another shiny example for politicians, man. You know what I mean? The big shiny object for the politicians next. You know what I mean? It's just stimulus shit, and after that, it'll be fucking weed.
Did they give stimulus checks out? Does anybody know if they did that?
Nah, the Senate McConnell and them blocked that. They're fighting over it, man. It's typical politics. Yay, nay, until fucking, the end of the world. Then they say, okay.
Are you sure? Because I actually know somebody very close to me that actually has a pending check.
They're getting
the 600. I mean, the 600. Yeah, not that too. Not
okay.
I think the folks are getting the 600. Right.
Yes, yeah, that's what they're sending.
Cool. That's cool. I thought, this is what I thought, and I want to get into this topic real quick. I thought what happened was they said, we're going to give everyone $600. Trump's like, no, everyone gets $2,000. And they were like, fuck you, Trump. Now no one's getting anything. That's what I thought happened.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Like,
but then I seen people saying, oh, I got it. And I'm like, but there's so many memes going around, you don't know what's real.
Right. So that's exactly. If I'm going to ask anybody, I'm going to ask somebody in this particular square grouper right now, because I'm going to get a better answer than I would anyone else. That's for damn sure. So I figured that was the case.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be 2,000 if they decide to do it, but they're probably not going to do it. So it's going to stick 600. Looks that way.
Yeah.
Either way, man, invest that shit in some cannabis. I'm starting to look at the markets now. You said something about a stash app or something. I'm getting ready to start putting some money in some shit. Because if it don't legalize by 2021 and it does in 2022, this is definitely the year you want to invest.
It's hard to know where to invest, I mean, because there's so many aspects, obviously, of the industry that you can invest in, and it's needing to where you invest and where you either your knowledge or at least your passion lies, because that's kind of where I've been. I'm in the construction business here, but it's not my passion. I like doing it; it's cool, but it's not my passion. So it's now where do I get into and have something else that's that's different and hard when you got a career. It's tough.
100%. I just put it in the comment section down there, stash.com. I think that's what it is. It may be dot something else. I'm not sure, but that's the app that you can download that you can start putting money into different cannabis stocks. And like Ken Man was just saying, it's a huge range of different things. I don't know anything about it. I'm starting to get some information on it. I'm still trying to figure out how to grow my autoflowers. So this thing is on my right now. But
I'm taking a heavy interest in it. So like we
they look
earlier,
pretty damn good. Yeah, don't kid yourself.
BG, I knew you would get linked up with that too, because I've been hearing about different kinds of apps with all kinds of different abilities for you to get. I'm tired of seeing stocks go by and me saying I wish I would have invested in that. And knowing that cannabis is on the edge right now, becoming enormous, bigger than even it is right now, which is unfathomable out here in Colorado. It makes me want to at least say I can get some money in there, just like I did with Bitcoin. I made money with Bitcoin and then lost a little and then made a little. But that's a different animal completely. Cannabis is real money and it's really attractive to a lot of people. So I really think there's some safety in a lot of that.
It's just so scary because like we see it here, folks that don't, like a year ago had no kind of vision for this. Now with this budding, and like you said, Microsoft, like to think that you could get on the ground floor of something, if you really care, like Ken Man was saying, if you got a passion, even though you got a job, you need to start a side hustle with this shit like we doing, because after the tide comes in, your boat ain't in the water, Jack. It's too late, man. You know what I mean? So start doing your homework now, and that's what I'm going to start doing and bringing it to the show, because I'm interested in investing my own money. So I'm going to be bringing it, and we'll be breaking some of that stuff down too as well, whatever I can find out.
I'm listening.
If it's our money, that's a we're going to pay attention to that shit. That's for sure. Yeah.
And we definitely listen to all four of y'all. I respect all four of y'all very much. In the full moon, last full moon of the year, 2020, right now.
I know that I need to bring my brother on the show, because my brother, who manages the Diego Pellet Serre out here in Denver, he knows all of the big companies that own other dispensaries and the people that are acquiring other dispensaries and stuff like that. That's what you want to get in. You want to get in with some of those mother companies that are saying, you know what, fucking True Leaf and Green Leaf and Emerald Dragon, and they just start picking places up and owning them all of a sudden. But you want to get in there, because I don't know how to I don't know how to do hostile takeovers of cannabis corporations. I'm going to leave it to the people who are in that app, and I'm hoping I can find a good way to make some return on that shit.
And that's like most investments, you want to look at something that, you think you'd be good at or you think would work well, and then doing it already, because you may be way behind that you can get behind, as part of how you invest, based on what it is that you're looking to get involved with,
In my instance, it would definitely be being somehow attached to a cultivar in some way. A cultivator, a grower on a large scale. That would be who I would definitely want to invest with, because I know exactly what the hell they would be talking about. Maybe not. And then
folks that are in them non-legal states, like them other, I don't know, we said 33, right? So them other non-legal states, you go back to that farm bill in 2018, there's a lot of red tape to get to growing, but if you're in a non-legal state, that farm bill allows you to grow for those purposes, but it's going to be some red tape, so you got to drill that down if that's something that you might be interested in too as well.
Yeah. Right. No doubt. And there's also CBD strains you can grow as well that would still fall under the hemp law, where even though you can smoke it and get some sort of effect from it, you aren't necessarily breaking a law by doing it, although I think that may be a state-by-state thing too. But
you can't grow in Florida, so we're still waiting on that. That is actually legislation that's pushing through now, and they're talking about it. So hoping that's something that's going to start 2021, 2022. But I'll be paying attention to a whole bunch of Cannabis Cowboy videos when that happens.
Bro,
comes.
And gets to me, man, this is what I thought. I walked into that damn cannabis thing, and I'm like, bro, all this traffic from all this tourism, and you can't even take my money. I'm like, man, look, I need to get ahead of this super quick because, you know, he was way early. And you think about that, the millions of people that come through here after this crazy little stint, if it goes away or the new normal or whatever it is, it's a man, it's a gang of people. What COVID, man, out here? You know what I mean? It's a lot of folks out here.
And you know full well the place that you can go right now with your medical card out of state and have absolutely no problem getting cannabis now, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Vegas, man. Vegas did it, and they did it smart because they knew they were going to open that Planet 13 out there, the biggest freaking dispensary in the world. Why the hell would you not take, as long as you can verify that and be on a safe side for as a dispensary?
Hey.
Why the hell not, man? Exactly what you're saying, BG. How the hell could you not take my money?
You know, Mike Tyson's invested with Planet 13 too. You know what I mean? And you know, Tyson runs out there, so the West Coast getting ready to get it on lock, man.
I'm gonna jump on Iron Mike's investment then.
You guys want some of that?
Kush?
You want some of that Tyson Kush?
Hey, why not, bro? Hey, you know that guy's trying to salvage his last thing, bro. He's going out like a soldier. He ain't half stepping no more.
Brian Heron, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Better late than never. We've been on an hour and a half, man. What happened? You fall asleep? Just kidding, bro.
Twin.
We hope anybody shows up. I haven't even looked up here, up there at the counter to see how many people have been in and on the show. It really doesn't matter right now because I know someone's going to clock in, they're going to listen, and they're going to get some information, and they're going to be better for it because that's what this is all about right now. 100%. Good to see you, Brian. Thanks for coming in and clocking in, dude. Leslie over there having a good time laughing at our asses. Huh? That's good. That's good. That's good. That means that we're doing our job, man. 100%. Oh, hey, are you sipping on some Courvoisier down there?
I am actually.
Look at this guy.
Barry just said,
did you run out of Hennessy or was that just a drink?
I ran out of my other shit, yeah, so I went to the Courvoisier.
Because you know, like Cat Williams say, you know what I mean? You got to stay consistent. You know what I mean? So there's no Hennessy. I will drink a little bit of Courvoisier.
You gotta say, that was a fucking spot on impression, BG. Damn, son. Yeah. I felt that.
He got me quick too.
Good, man. Get nice. Yes, sir.
Well, cool, man. I gotta jump off of here, fellas. I appreciate y'all having me, and thanks for running late, man. But definitely we got some more circle back to catch up, man, tomorrow. Ken, man, I appreciate you coming on, holding it down. You know what I mean? Welcome, man. Nothing but growing this, like my man Bob says, keep growing, man. We're growing the network here, you know what I mean? So, and Eric B, always support, man. Appreciate it. And everybody else watching, chiming in, make sure y'all comment, like, and share, man. We going places in 2021, y'all. So stick around.
Better believe it, man. Have fun, man. We'll talk about the pregame ritual.
Later, y'all.
Later. Yeah. We should be laughing because we should be hot. Yes.
He's a soldier, bro. Barry Gibson, BG's a soldier.
Literally, quite literally. He was a sailor, but yes. Man, he is out there doing his thing, man. He's hype, man. I don't, you know what I'm telling you? It's just a couple. It's just like really what's going on in this group right now, man. We've got we know each other for our entire lives right now, but we're very different people. And the fact that we've got one or two things that really connect us really hard is a beautiful thing because there's so many friendships and stuff that come and go over the course of your lifetime that being able to keep the core of the people that knew you when you were stupid and when you had boogers in your fucking face and shit, like those are that's important, man, to keep in touch with people. So I'm really, really happy that you decided to come on, Ken, man. If you want to come on regularly, you've got an open invitation to be part of the show, man. And you and I will definitely go behind the scenes and talk about the creation of something else here coming up so that we can start making sure that this information gets out on a mass scale from different angles. So
I'm happy to do it. I mean, honestly, it's the first time I've participated in something like this. So excited to do it with you for sure. You know, we've talked in the past about collaborating on stuff like this, and it's really cool. So yeah, whether I infiltrate you here or we go do something on the side, I mean, we'll figure it out, you know, one way or the other. We'll see how the people here like me, or they want to get rid of the Dolphin fan. I don't know, whatever. I love it.
Hey man, it's the Square Grouper show, man. It doesn't matter what you're a fan of, as long as you're a fan of cannabis, man, you're good to go. You are good to go, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we ran a little bit long, but that doesn't necessarily matter because it's my show. So I wanted to make sure that we got the information we got out. I love you folks for showing up and hanging out. Anybody who hasn't done so, go check me out on Patreon if you want to throw some support my way. It helps keep water in the soil. It helps keep these grows going. You're going to start seeing some videos about that very soon. I'm compiling a few weeks of video before I start releasing it. There's no way it would actually be really cool at all for you to see it because it's super slow. It happens so slow. Even though this autoflower is growing, I want to be able to put it in a better video for you folks to soak it all up. So everything from seed to harvest is going to be covered in this Dark Devil autoflower grow. We got a couple parting comments right here. Good show, so funny. Hey, Brandy, thank you so much. You know how the Sunset High folk do it. You know what I mean? We're just going to be talking smack, and that's the way it is, man. The 305 runs through all of us. Cowboys, hey, man. Yeah, you damn right. Damn right we help each other. It's all about the Mary Jane. Sarah, thank you so much for that gift. That was really badass. Leslie, good night. Thanks for coming in. You need to order a shirt. You know what I think you've got one coming already, don't you? If you've got a shirt coming, I mean, you can still order one. I'm not going to tell you how to do that. I think there's the only difference right now is the fact that I've got large and extra large. That's all you can get on my eBay site right now. So, but anybody that wants to go there, I can put the link in here a little bit later, and you can go buy some of the Cannabis Cowboy gear that I've got going. I've got the mugs up there. I've got this hoodie up there. I've got 2 different kinds of shirts. And I'm hoping you folks can definitely get on board and check some of that stuff out. So, Brian, Happy New Year, my brother. Thank you so much for your support.
Yes, Happy New Year to all y'all.
For real. 2021 will be a better year. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Square Groupers number 9. Thanks for so much for hanging out. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe on the YouTube end. I am the Cannabis Cowboy. That dude over there is the son. I pointed in the wrong direction. That's Ken Man. And that's Eric B down there. Thank you so much for hanging out, folks. Keep growing. We'll see you soon.